Good morning. The Metropolitan Planning Organization Board meeting of August 17th, 2023 is called to order. I remind everyone to please silence all electronic devices. Please note that this meeting is being broadcast and a video of the meeting will be available after the meeting is concluded on the county's website. This time, I'd like to ask you all to please rise for invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
O merciful Creator, your hand is open wide to satisfy the needs of every living creature. Make us thankful for your loving providence and grant that we, remembering the account that we must one day give, may be faithful stewards of your good gifts. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, can we get the roll call?
City Commissioner Scott Black.
Here.
Councilman Lance Smith. Mayor John Eric Hoover.
Here.
Commissioner Ron Oakley.
Here.
Commissioner Seth Waitman. Commissioner Catherine Starkey. Commissioner Gary Bradford. Commissioner Jack Mariano. And Chairman Matt Murphy.
Here. All right, do we have anybody for public comment today? Nope, doesn't look, okay. If not, then we'll move on to approval of the minutes. We're seeking board review and approval of the meeting minutes.
Mr.
Oh, we'll have to
Chair.
wait, won't we?
Oh, that's right. Gotta vote. We had to wait on it, right?
Yeah, so I guess we're pausing.
We can move on to presentations.
Report. Presentations, okay.
Board reports. Yeah.
All right.
board
Let's
report.
do the Citizen Advisory Committee. Ms. Sandy Graves.
We met, and we did approve the action items. We approved the calendar year 2024 MPO Citizens Advisory Committee meeting schedule. We'll continue to meet on Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. on 8 days before you guys meet. We also are scheduled to have the month of December as a meeting to accommodate the adoption of the Mobility 2050 Long Range Transportation Plan. I'm not sure I'll be there, but 2050 anyway. And the Pasco MPO, we also passed the review of a redesignation reapportionment process. We voted to recommend that. Also, we voted to approve the TIP request. We had some status reports, presentations, and updates. With Go Pasco, we were updated on driver shortage. And there was a recommendation that maybe looking into hiring veterans would be a good idea. Also, we have we're recovering from the lows experienced during the pandemic. We went over the role of the buses and transportation during hurricanes and evacuation. There's an analysis of transportation needs of the county that will be conducted. Intelligent transportation system initiatives that will improve efficiency and customer service. And also, there's an initiative to refurbish Go Pasco's administration offices and to build a new transfer station with amenities for bus drivers and riders. We were given an update on the Adventure Cycling Route 15 in Pasco County, and that was approved by the MPO Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. And also, we discussed the importance of the economic importance of bicycling tourism. Pasco 2050 Comprehensive Plan update was given a presentation, and there was quite a bit of discussion on the comprehensive plan relating to growth and transportation and infrastructure needs, which is an ongoing discussion that we have. In our roundtable discussions, we had was brought up about the operation of golf carts in Port Richey becoming a safety concern, and also there was a discussion on the need to improve the public transport participation process in Pasco County. I think we all could step up and get more participation in that. It seems we don't have as many people as we would like to see what's going on. Our next meeting in Land Lakes will be October 4th. That's it. Any questions? Okay.
Anyone?
Well, all the action items were approved, so you have our consent.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Technical Advisory Committee, Mr. Clay Watkins.
Good morning, Commissioner Clayton Watkins, Technical Advisory Committee, Commissioner, Chairman, excuse me. Same thing, all we had, the 3 action items regarding the future schedule, the MPO tip improvement, and the redesignation of reappointment process. All of those items were approved without any comment and unanimously. As mentioned earlier, we also heard the presentation regarding the 2050 comprehensive plan update. Discussions regarding the good, the bad, regarding the existing transportation system. Some of the good items were noted is that we believe there's a pretty good transportation plan, conditions of the road surface, the number of trails, and the quick response from Public Works in repairing those. Bad items were brought, at least with our group, was need for funding to increase our road mileage and also for Go Pasco for their needs and resources. As they were moving forward, we were asked about what our thoughts are on other mobilities as we move forward. A lot of discussion on bus rapid transit, use of bicycle facilities, and then also other alternative modes of transportation instead of cars. We too heard the Go Pasco presentation. Look forward to see that we're sort of bouncing back on the rider transportation. And the new technology they're proposing would be good for tracking buses. So when you guys see that, you'll find it's pretty impressive. We also heard and then approved the adventure cycling route. During our open discussion, there was some discussion between making sure, there was a question from Todd Vandenberg and with the City of Zephyr Hills and making sure we're sort of communicating on the repaving as Pasco County does their program. They just wanted to make sure they're up to date with it. And then Parks and Recs was just inform us that they're going through a master plan, so they'll be back in front of us on that. And that's all. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, next up, we have Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. Dr. Stovall. Good morning.
Good morning. So the good news about your MPO staff is they make sure we have all these items before we come to you. We meet on the same day. So when you get to me, I'm going to tell you we looked at the same things they looked at. A couple of things that were most interesting, I think, for us is you do have on your agenda today the approval of the U.S. Bike Route 15, and I would just say it's put on by the Adventure Cycling Association, which is a national membership organization, and they publish bicycle routes all across the country, and this particular route is going to take people from North Florida to South Florida, but you know, we're right in the middle. So it is a good thing for us. All those people will be looking and they'll be thinking about, oh, where would we stop? So there are opportunities with this that will come, so that's a good thing. When we looked at the discussion of the Pasco 2050, one of the things that we did bring up is something we brought to you before. Hopefully it might wind up in the new plan, but it's the idea of an overlay for bicycle facilities, a zoning overlay that would allow for businesses that might enhance the bike experience for the riders. You know, we think that if there's places to stop, you get a drink, relax, maybe get something to eat, and then go on. It will be something that people will use. And the example that we used, our local example, is really very close to here. This Starkey Market sets upon a trail. And if you go there in the weekends, Saturday or Sunday morning, you'll see there's all sorts of families, and they're going to that market to stop and get something to drink, and they're riding and exercising, having a good time. So all these bike facilities are good for us. It's healthy, but it also brings people to have a good time in Pasco County. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Shall we move to the informational items?
We can do that. All right. All right. So we're gonna go with the, Go Pasco update?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ms. Nina Elkin, Director of Go Pasco, will present this item.
Yes.
Kate?
Hello, good morning. How are you all?
Morning.
Yes, thank you. Where's the presentation though? Just connect. Okay. Oh, good morning. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry, I'm a little sick. No COVID, I'm okay. I went to the doctor, they say you are okay, it's just a little sinus, so. Thank you. Thank you for having me today, Nina Elkin, Pasco Director. I am here today to show you the presentation that was shown at the TAC meetings in the CAC. This presentation will provide you with some information that the services that we provide, as long with the update on the projects that we are working on. So we have a video here. I don't know, Johnny, help me with that. That's the service that we provide, the two services.
I will share with everyone, we had power go out last evening, so printers and such have been giving us a few difficulties, including the air conditioning on the third floor.
Go Pasco offers two types of transportation options. Fixed route service, which is available to the general public, everyone and anyone in Pasco County or visiting the county. The bus travels on an established route at predetermined times and drops individuals off at a set location or bus stop. Go Pasco offers 11 bus routes and over 1,000 bus stops throughout the county. Demand response service, known as paratransit, is more individualized type of transportation. The bus picks individuals up at their home and drops them off at a predetermined location, such as the doctor's office or grocery store. Paratransit is provided throughout Pasco County to those individuals unable to access fixed route service because of a disability, environmental barrier, or distance from a route. Getting started with paratransit requires a pre-registration process, which includes an application. Once the individual is approved, they must call Go Pasco to set up transportation. Paratransit is not same-day service. Individuals must call 2 weeks or up to 3 days before travel request. All fixed route and paratransit buses are wheelchair accessible.
Thank you. So I just go to the next slide. So that's basically, in summary, the services that we provide, like say, fixed route and paratransit services. So the next one is, this one. Am I doing it right? Okay, yes. So as you see, that's our system map. We have 11 routes, 8 on this side of the county, and 2 on the east side of the county, and 1 cross county. That's the 54 corridor. It starts at Mook Road and 19 and goes all the way to the city of Zephyr Hills City Hall. Also, we excuse me, we connect with 2 routes, PSTA, Pinellas County, 1 route with Hart in Wiregrass, and to the north we connect with Hernando County, 2 locations at the Emerald and 19, and at County Line Road and what is that, Shady Hills or Marinara. So we do regional connections with them. Now our fixed route, that's the ridership. Back before COVID, we were at over 800,000 ridership. Due to the pandemic, so it decreased, and we're, as you see in 2023, we are at 639,000 riders. We estimated that by next year we will be increasing even more, and maybe we'll go back to pre-COVID levels. Our system comparison from last year, the increase was 12% in ridership. Typically, it's only 3%, but due to the going back into the swing of things and life coming back to what it was before, so that's where the increase is. In regards of our capital project, I started with a vehicle replacement program. That's an aggressive program that we established last year. Half of our fleet is already met their useful life, so we have about 20 vehicles to replace. We just got 6 last June, and we just ordered 4 more. So hopefully by next year, we will be in good shape, and we will be able to increase our service area. With that, we also are conducting a comprehensive operational analysis, which is a route study, and they will determine which routes are beneficial, which ones are not performing, and probably establish new ways to provide transportation to the county residents. That includes maybe microtransit and other type of services right along and things like that that will be able to help our community. Also, we have our bus stop ADA improvement program. We have over 1,000 bus stops. 40% are only ADA accessible, so we're going to be working on to making those accessible to anybody and everybody. With our ITS, which is the Intelligent Transportation System, we looking for efficiencies, not only for us to be able to not collect data manually anymore. Actually, it's going to be a system installed in each single bus, so we will not only be able to retrieve the information, but also we will be able to provide information to our riders, like real-time information, AVL, voice annunciators. We will be able to do passenger counters, count the passengers automatically without having to press a button, and other items such as technology, all the technology on board. So we're looking also for land acquisition. We would like to secure 2 locations. Currently, we don't have any transfer stations, so we're looking to secure a location on the east side of the county and the west side of the county. That way, our buses will be able to meet, and not only that, but we would like to do it intermodal. So not only will be for buses, but also for Uber riders or for even our paratransit services to fit into the fixed route. We will welcome bikes, park and rides, and things like that. We're already looking at locations. Actually, the city of Zephyr Hills, we already reached out to them, and they are cooperating and helping us to find a location there. Not only that, but also it's a place that riders will be able to transfer safely, but also our drivers will have a place that they can their shift change that can be utilized for the shift change, but also restrooms that currently we don't have, and maybe sell passes as well. And lastly, we are working on our renovation for our Galen Wilson facility, which is in Port Richey. That building needs renovation. It's for our admin and operations side, so that's what we're working on. All these projects currently we're actively working on those, and all of these are capital projects, so those are federally funded, so that's at no cost to the county. So, and with that, and then that's our new buses with our new logo. We just rebranded back in 2021. So those are our new buses. Actually, yesterday we were on the call with Gillick, which is the manufacturer, and they were saying that they got a lot of compliments on the bus and the color of the bus and how colorful as they were delivering the buses here. So, and with that, I'm done with my presentation. If you guys have any questions, it's good.
Anyone?
I'm good.
Quick question, if you go back to the map, just so I know what those, there was
okay.
big circles that had 2 letters in them, are those?
Oh, those are like major
Major street.
locations when we meet more than two or more routes. Mm-hmm.
So those are stops as well, I guess, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but I mean, just bus stops, yes. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, we got potential Tampa Bay Regional MPO information and update. Mr. Carl.
Thank you very much. This is just a presentation informational to share with you some of the implications of the discussions been taking place about forming a MPO that would consist of Tampa Bay, i.e. Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco. It's been talked about quite a bit. So there are a number of state and federal requirements that play into this. And one of the misconceptions is that there might be multiple MPOs within the region. While we currently have 3 MPOs, if there was to be a regional MPO, it would take away the individual MPOs. So a piece of dirt may only have 1 MPO, if you will. Or in Florida, I suppose we could say a piece of sand. But so if we were to go that route, and form a multi-county MPO, there has been talk that in order to keep the individuality of each of the counties, there could be satellite offices and/or do a technical advisory committee for each of the MPOs so that local issues could be brought up to this larger MPO board. But if there was a regional MPO formed, there would not be an individual Pasco County MPO. The other concern that has come up is about how the money would then be handled. The money would add together. And I guess the best correlation I could give you is when you get married. You have two individuals who are both working, you get married, now there are two incomes in one household. It would work much the same way with the money, so the expenditure of funds here, both for planning as well as construction, would be mixed in with the money for Pinellas, the money with Hillsborough. That pot would be larger. Theoretically, the money in Pasco should not change. But what would change is how that money is distributed. We have a prioritization process for selecting projects here, one that was customized to the needs of Pasco County. It would then be a regional prioritization process, and it may look a bit different. We've prioritized safety. We also have looked at economic development. How that would shake out in a larger regional MPO, I would expect those elements to still be there, but maybe not in the same proportionality that we use today. So there is a regional study that is underway to look at the pros and cons of merging the three MPOs. This was mandated to the MPOs by the Florida legislature, and so we must do this. Now, I want to emphasize, it is a study only. We are not committing as Pasco County to becoming part of a regional MPO. We are doing a study to look at the pros and cons or the benefits and pitfalls of such idea.
I have a question. So legislators tell us to look into it, but they're not forcing us to be a part of it.
That is correct. We are forced to be part of a study.
Right,
But
okay.
not the
Not the
interesting-
actual thing.
Yes, and part of that harkens back to the way the federal codified regulations are written, that the determination of how the MPO is composed is exclusively in your hands. You cannot be forced into a regional MPO because of the way that the codified federal regulations are written. And the legislature does seem to have a strong interest in seeing a regional MPO, but they are unable to mandate it. So the best they can do is mandate this study.
Well, my feelings are, and I've studied that quite a while and thought, and then it came up, I was first thinking that, regional, we're number 15 or 17 in the country, and we'll get a better chance to get federal dollars, but Pasco being a part of that large regional wouldn't necessarily have a lot to say because, well, here's the reason right here. We got 4 of us here right now, and Lance is on the way, but the chance of us having a real good say is very slim because we're outvoted by, because it has to be done by population. Hillsborough and Pinellas are much bigger right now. We're growing, and we're going to get there, but we're not there yet. But I personally have thought about it. Why can't we stay as individual county MPOs and agree together by counties to sign on for bigger projects in our region for that federal dollar rather than being a part of a large, just maintain our personal county MPOs rather than being a part of the regional MPO.
And that is something that could be done through the vehicle known as the Sun Coast Transportation Planning Alliance, which is that collaboration of the 3 MPOs here in the Tampa region, plus some of the surrounding counties. There is a TMA leadership group that is just the 3 counties. Then there's the larger SCTPA. And I do think that is a vehicle for that voice. When there is a single MPO that is speaking on MPO board letterhead, for particularly, say, larger federal projects. It does hold more weight.
Yeah.
But I do think that we can demonstrate a cooperative nature among us. And even if it's Pasco advocating for a project that is not located within Pasco County.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. And I know that's why Secretary Gwynn's looking at it, because District 7, he's interested in getting as much federal dollars as he can to help his region. And I understand that, and I think being a part of that, not necessarily a part of the regional group, but as a separate entity, but agreeing together for those kind of projects. I have no problem with doing that, so.
And I
I
think
think
it
that'd
is
be a good way to work it, rather than do away with ours.
agreed. I think it's beneficial for us to show support for our fellow MPOs here in the region.
Yes, I do too.
I do want to point out, there is a survey that is open now seeking opinion not only from you as elected officials, but the public at large. And anyone can take this survey. It's just to see what are the thoughts of the public, our elected officials, in terms of a regional MPO. And so wanted to just talk a little bit about the background of this and, is there an appetite for a regional MPO? It does appear that the business community in the Tampa Bay region is interested in seeing a regional MPO. I think they're of the opinion that by having one, we would compete better for large federal projects, particularly with the discretionary grants, with that unified voice. The legislature certainly seems to be interested in this, and I think they're taking their cues from the business community who are speaking to them. When we have had the regional meetings of the TMA leadership group, Hillsborough does not seem to be enthused about the idea of a regional MPO. Now, new people coming to the TMA leadership group representing Hillsborough may have a different approach to that, but thus far it seemed like there has not been an interest. Pinellas seems to be of the opinion that they're interested in looking at this and exploring it further. And I think that's where Pasco County is also sitting, when we've been at these meetings. Let's talk about it. Talking does not harm us or cost us anything to explore it further. So that seems to be where the region is sitting on this topic. And I wanted to open up this dialogue in case there was any confusion or misunderstanding about what is happening with this study, the intent of it, and what is required of us at this point in time. So I will point out, in state statute, any MPO, regardless of your geographic size, is capped at 25 members. And that would be whether it's Pasco County, it's the 3 MPOs merging into one. If it would be Pasco and Pinellas that looked at merging, it would still be 25.
Right.
So are there any questions for me, please?
I will say I have seen the survey out to some different groups so it's getting out there. One of them was the Pinellas Board of Realtors, and they have a pretty good, like 25,000 member group, so it's getting out there for sure.
Good.
And I definitely feel the same as Commissioner Oakley. We have our pot of money now, and if we go to this regional, it gets put in a bigger pot, but there may be years or, even multiple years where we may not get much of it for other projects. So it's almost like a leap of faith. Try to trust everybody else, and we may get the raw end of that. So it's a hard thing to swallow, for sure.
Well, it's, and you saying that, you think about it, but I don't mind as a single MPO. I don't want to lose our voice as a county, as far as MPO goes. But I don't mind agreeing on large projects that we can tap in to get funding. I mean, if Pasco MPO has to sign and Hillsborough MPO has to sign, and then also Pinellas, I have no problem with that. We can all agree that way. But, and I think that would work, because that doesn't put one, because even Hillsborough will think, well, we're going to be outnumbered if Pinellas and Pasco vote a certain way, and we don't have the people there to vote. So, they have the same worries we do, but we're the smaller one in the group. And also, we're probably the most growing area of the 3, because all that pressure we have coming to the north from Pinellas and Hillsborough. That's very important, and we gotta be looking after what we need, and the AMPO is very important for Pasco to have a voice, so.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, because we're growing so much more so than the others. You know, this is the time that, at least I feel, we need to be looking ahead and getting these projects done to compensate for that and not get behind. So,
Yeah, if I,
And-
oh, go ahead.
Well, I just want to add, in Tampa Bay Water, we agree on the Tampa Bay Water Board, Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Pasco, but we're all equal with 2 members, and then we have cities that also have membership too, that have a say in what we do in Tampa Bay Water. But we all tend to come to the right decision together in that group. So, and it works good, so.
Yeah, and to follow on what you were explaining about the growth rates here, the Director of Planning for Pasco County, I overheard him say in a meeting that we apparently are the 5th fastest growing county in the nation. It's quite a distinction.
Yeah, that's all, it's mind-boggling when you think about it in those terms, so. But it's a lot of growth, a lot of good things are happening, a lot of jobs are coming. There's things we need to do to make sure we get the businesses in here that will help pay the ad valorem. And those things are good for all the citizens, but the fact of it is, when you get these businesses in, they pay ad valorem taxes, it helps every citizen in our county, because it helps keep taxes down on residential and other things, because they pay a bigger load on, and less services have to go out to those businesses. So, but they're good for everybody.
Well, obviously, we're being forced to be a part of the study. I guess is the intent here is after the study, they come to a conclusion that they would want to move to try to force us to be able to regionalize?
The study is only states that we must look at the pros and cons. I forget how exactly it is worded in the legislation that was passed, but basically a report demonstrating the upsides and the downsides. I don't believe the report requires us to come to a conclusion, but just to investigate why it would be a good or bad idea.
I guess the outcome of that study, would that change the way that, where we would end up having to, they could force us? You say it's the federal level that keeps us autonomous, that we can make the decision or not?
That is correct.
So it's not something our legislator could basically change at that point, they have to go to federal level? Gotcha. Thank you.
We'd have the veto power, we'd have the veto ability to remain on our own if we wanted to.
That is correct. Yes, you would have to vote to join a larger MPO and then dissolve the individual MPO here at Pasco.
Mr. Chair, I do believe in the idea of thinking regionally and working together regionally, but I know in my previous lifetime on the MPO, and it's still the case, the local MPOs all still get together on a regular basis, and even a larger area beyond our particular Tampa Bay region would get together. So we'd still have that ability to get together, and if we could all agree that when it comes to the super regional projects that we'd like to have, that we could all work together on those. If that mechanism is still there, where you could still do the same type of things, but each county MPO have its autonomy. And not to sound parochial, but I like being at the table. And I can remember for years when it was the West Pasco MPO and not the Pasco County MPO. And for Dade City and Zephyr Hills to be able to be at the table too, with all of us, with the county commissioners and their fellow municipalities here in Pasco County, I like being able to have that voice for the things that are unique to our part of the county. And each county is very unique, and Pasco County particularly, parts of the county are very unique within Pasco County. So if we can preserve the relationship that we have, I don't think this is broke. I don't think it needs to be fixed. And we've had that regional meeting approach in the past, working with our fellow MPOs. If we can continue to do that and have that ability to agree on the projects and have the coming together in that body, be able to accomplish the things that could be accomplished otherwise, I think we should stay where we are.
I think part of that, just to add some to that, is if we met as individual MPOs together in a group, we could vote and endorse bigger projects. They might not be in Pasco, they might be in Hillsborough, they might be in Pinellas. But as a group, in that sense, I think our voice would be heard, and we'd get that federal money that way, rather than doing away with our individual MPOs, and going to a regional. I'd rather keep it single MPOs for the different counties, so. I think that's right. And I'm gonna fill out that survey today, and I'll express that same feeling today.
Thank you.
In that, so.
All right, well, thank you very much.
I just heard from Lance, that Lance not gonna make it today.
Okay. Okay.
He texted them too, and he said he wasn't gonna be able to make it because of that accident, so.
Okay. There are a couple of action items that obviously we will not be able to take action on. It would be at your discretion whether or not you would want to see the background material. They would still have to come before this body at a future meeting to be voted upon.
Do we have the time to wait till the next meeting to be able to do that?
Let me consult on one thing. Pardon me? Ryan, the roll forward? We may look at doing a
September meeting,
special meeting, and what I would like to propose for that, if it would work well, is if we could do a meeting that would begin, say, 5 or 10 minutes before a county commission meeting. We could do an MPO meeting for that roll forward if it is needed prior to the next regularly scheduled meeting of this body.
We might could do that well, we have a 9 o'clock because of budget items, we got a 9 o'clock coming up this Tuesday.
Yeah.
But the next meeting, the next meeting, we have a 9 o'clock. So one of those meetings, we could meet at 9 o'clock and do that right prior to a board meeting.
That, or perhaps the last time we exercised this, we actually held a meeting at 1:25 prior to the 1:30
There's your
session of the
time,
board.
Ronnie. There's your time.
So either way, but if FDOT needs that, I may be reaching out to each of you, asking whomever is geographically closest from the municipalities,
Yeah.
and then the county commissioners, so that we can move that roll forward amendment. That is very important, because there's 6 projects in there that, obviously, we like our projects here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'll make it wherever it is if schedule permits, but
Okay.
the 1 o'clock deal would be much preferable. Unless it's in Dade City, and then 9 o'clock's fine.
Yes, sir.
That's too far, you make it.
No, that'd be fine.
Yeah. But,
All right.
I'm on different committees and chair actually different meetings, and the issue we always have is having a quorum. Somehow, we as we've been voted in to do this job, somehow, we've got to make it important that we have a quorum. Somehow, every time we have a meeting. Because this is, not that we're wasting time, because we have had good discussion, but when you can't do action items, then you're holding the whole system up until you get it done, so. It's very important for members to be present, so. Okay.
Agreed.
Wish we could tell Lance we'd just keep waiting around a little while longer for him, but I guess he knows more about it than we do, so.
Hopefully he wasn't the one in the accident.
Which we'd have to bring forward. Yeah, the adventure cycling is also the other item, that if we do a special meeting, we would bring that forward.
Yeah, okay.
So we do need to move just to table the action items till whenever we can get back?
I think that would be the wise
Need
decision.
to get back? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Will we have enough time for the presentations and everything with that abbreviated meeting schedule?
We would
Meeting agenda.
perhaps do it just a little bit longer than the 5 minutes we did
Oh, yeah.
last time, but yeah, we could adjust that time for the start so that we don't, we allow time for the discussion and presentation, along with then, of course, not interfering with the meeting that we would be attaching to informally.
Yeah, I think a 9 o'clock would be better, because that gives you an hour. So, before a board meeting. It's just gonna be like 3 or 4 meetings away before you can do that, so,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so let's move the table to the next meeting,
Very good.
whatever that is, or whenever.
You need a motion for that?
Well-
Can we vote on it?
The lack of-
Well, we can't vote on it, we ain't got a quorum, but we're gonna do that, so.
Okay.
All right, anybody else have anything, any other business, anything you want to talk about?
Was there more informational stuff regarding the structure of the board and all that, or is that part of
Well,
this?
that was an action item to
Oh,
approve
that's
the draft.
Oh, okay, to approve the draft, okay.
Okay.
Motion adjourned?
Yeah, thank you, so moved.